byvoeglike en bywoordelike bysinne. These are sentences that describe something in our main sentence. To understand this properly, we have to look at the different sentences first. So ons gaan kyk na enkelvoudige sinne en saamgestelde sinne. Ons begin met enkelvoudige sinne. 'n Enkelvoudige sin bestaan uit 'n onderwerp en 'n voorwerp en 'n gesegde. The gesegde is your verb. The voorwerp is your object. En die onderwerp is your subject. And this is for purposes of stompie. Right. So let's just put a little circle around that. So when we look at 'n enkelvoudige sin, 'n enkelvoudige sin het net een werkwoord. So when we find a sentence with only one verb, we call it 'n enkelvoudige sin. For example, die seun is our subject, speel verb, sokker object. The verb is then also the gesegde. Die seun speel sokker. Reg. So when we describe this sentence further, kry ons wat ons noem 'n byvoeglike en 'n bywoordelike bepaling. Still working with enkelvoudige sinne, only one verb in the sentence. So, byvoeglike naamwoord, remember that one, en 'n byvoeglike bepaling. This means it describes either the subject or the object in the sentence. So if we look at the subject in the sentence, die seun. So if we say die seun, and what does this boy look like? Let's say he has red hair. Die seun met die rooi hare. So met die rooi hare describes what the boy looks like. In other words, it is byvoeglik, which means this part of the sentence becomes our byvoeglike bepaling. The adjective. Wanneer ons 'n bywoordelike bepaling het, the adverb, we are describing the verb. So if we look at speel, how does he play? Speel sokker. Hoe speel hy sokker? Met 'n bal. So this part describes the how he plays the soccer, the verb. In other words, this becomes the bywoordelike bepaling, the adverbial, right? Because it describes the verb. So what you need to remember is for 'n enkelvoudige sin, we get bepalings, byvoeglik en bywoordelik bepaling, and enkelvoudig only one verb. However, when we have more than one verb in a sentence, we have a saamgestelde sin. Now our sentence says, die seun wat slim is, speel sokker. So now we have to be careful because we have two sentences in this one sentence. ons het 'n hoofsin en 'n bysin. Die hoofsin sê vir ons wat die sin is. Wat gebeur? Die seun speel sokker. So dit is ons hoofsin. Die seun speel sokker. Because this part here, wat slim is a descriptive part. So dit word dan ons bysin. Wat slim is. Goed. So dit word ons bysin. Maar hoe weet ons nou watter tipe bysin dit is? Ons kry twee soorte bysinne. 'n byvoeglike bysin, and I'll put in brackets so that you remember, this is the adjective and it describes either the subject or the object. Dit begin, and this is important to remember, met 'n betreklike voornaamwoord, with a relative pronoun. Met ander woorde, wat, wie, waarop, waarmee, en so voorts. So remember, when we are dealing with betreklike voornaamwoorde, it is wat and wie. These other ones are all words that are made up of wat plus a preposition. So you need to refer back to the lesson about relative pronouns, betreklike voornaamwoorde, and to your handbook and study guide for these ones, wat plus preposition. Examples of these, die wedstryd wat môre gespeel word, because this part of the sentence describes the match that will be played tomorrow. Die sokkerspelers wat nie saamwerk nie. The soccer players who do not work with or who do not work together. Reg. Once again, this part of the sentence describes the actual subject in the sentence. Adjective, subject or object. Dan kry ons bywoordelike bysinne. These ones are the adverbs. En hulle beskryf die werkwoord, the verb. Dit dui tyd, plek, wyse, graad en rede aan. So this is the when, the where, the how, and the why. So when you ask these questions, that is when you get a bywoordelike bysin. Die wedstryd wat môre gespeel word. So when we ask the question, when is this happening? It is happening tomorrow. So this part tells us the when. When is this happening? Tomorrow. So this part of the sentence is going to be the bywoordelike bysin. Die sokkerspelers wat nie saamwerk nie is an example of byvoeglik, because remember, this describes die sokkerspelers. Wanneer ons sê die sokkerspelers, wat elke dag op die veld oefen, that practice on the field every day, werk nie saam nie. We are going to ask the question, where? Waar oefen hulle elke dag? Op die veld. Wat elke dag op die veld oefen? And that part is then going to be our bywoordelike bysin. So there is a fine difference, and what you need to remember is to ask the questions and to see to which one they answer. And that is how we are going to differentiate between byvoeglik and bywoordelik. Remember, byvoeglik is either going to describe your subject or your object, and bywoordelik answers the questions with regards to your verb. I'll see you on the next one.